Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. This is episode 78. I'm your host Migs here with my co-host Charlie as always. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the reveals for New York City Comic Con 2023.
There's so many awesome things to talk about. So before you get into this, make sure you like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you know when all new videos and podcasts are coming out. All right. With that being said, let's chat.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Welcome. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We were away, but we are back as always. Perfect time because we got New York Comic Con news to talk about. That's what pretty much the entire episode is going to be about. We're going to talk about all the stuff that was announced and what's like officially going to be coming out for the lineup for Funko
Yeah.
and NYCC. And of course, I know we said this in a previous episode, but me and Charlie will actually be going to New York Comic
Yes, we
Con
will.
the Thursday, the first day. So that's going to be exciting. Probably get some content there. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we'll get into the New York Comic Con stuff. Like we said, so interesting thing I did want to point out. So obviously we know that Funko has a pretty good relationship, especially now with Tristan from Top
Yeah, they
Pops.
do.
And so much so that literally he got every single, well, almost every single, we'll talk about it in a second, but New York City Comic Con exclusive shipped to him, made a video obviously showing them all off. Great for them. I kind of like this whole thing, like, you know,
I agree.
getting a huge page out there like him and that connection that they have and partnership, whatever you want to call it. But it's pretty cool that we get to see some of these. It is interesting. There was like one that I think is missing, which is a little weird, but we'll get into that when we go through what's coming out in the lineup. But very excited. I don't know if you had anything to say about that because I thought it was pretty cool that
No, I
they did
thought it
that.
was really cool. I like that they're going out to creators. It does seem like he's now the unofficial, official, like
Yeah,
the
literally.
creator spokesperson. I mean, they've pulled him up at the last cons, like he's legitimately being escorted by Mike. So, but it makes sense. I mean, he is the biggest, Funko YouTuber. Like no one comes close to him. So, and I mean, he's been doing it for so long. It's weird. Like I know some people, I feel like you either love him or hate him, but he has such
Mhm.
good like presence and
Yeah.
it's comes off very professional that like it's a no-brainer. So I agree with you. Like I like that that's what they did. It's much better than the stuff that they were doing with their own team in the past, unfortunately.
Very, very true. uh, but we'll get right into it. So, like, if you guys are watching, we like to pop up pictures, obviously, so you guys can see some of these pops that we're going to be talking about, and some of the stuff is going to be, coming out. And then we'll kind of run through most of the stuff like we usually do, and maybe talk about a few things that we're excited about. But we like kind of just getting it out there for you guys. So Charlie, you can start us off with a few, rip through a couple, some stuff that was announced for this Comic Con.
Yeah, so we got another Dungeons and Dragons Funko Pop, which is I don't know, it's not really anything that you and I are interested in.
Yeah.
And even though they've done this with the NFTs, they normally get cons, but this kind of looks like one that they've already made. It's just
I
a
was gonna
different
say, don't they
color.
have this already? Okay, the color,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just a different color. I mean, we don't, once again, I don't want to butcher it, but we don't know enough about it. But I feel like at this point they're exhausting these, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
this isn't one that I'm super excited for, but this next one I'm super pumped for. It's from Mutant Mayhem. We're getting Ray Flay, which is actually he is voiced by Post Malone. It's
Mhm.
just super cool. I'm a Post Malone fan, and I feel like this is gonna happen maybe going forward for a few cons. Like we're gonna get some of like the villains that they didn't come out in like the common release, which I think is absolutely perfect. This character in general is perfect for a con release because it isn't main. It like he didn't have much screen time in the movie, but super super sick.
Mhm.
What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool too. It's a cool looking character. And in the mold, it looks awesome as well. But yeah, I agree. It's cool to see because there's a lot of
Oh
characters
yeah,
like in that movie, and a lot of different villains and things like that. So it's cool to see that, we didn't get bombarded with the crazy, even though we got a ton of Ninja Turtle and Mutant Mayhem
yeah.
stuff. There's like little by little, they can kind of still milk this out, I guess, like you said, when it comes to cons and stuff. So I like that way of doing it for sure.
And then another one they announced, which like I'm on the fence if I want this one or not, but it's Toxic Avenger. Um, it's interesting though. I'm not positive. I don't know if you know if this is like from the original movie or they are making a remake with Peter Dinklage, and I'm not sure if what this is from because I'm
Yeah, I
pretty sure
don't.
the character's looking the same. Are you familiar with the movie?
I don't even know the character specifically. So
Okay, this is just like a hardcore like B C type like horror comedy action type movie. It's like super niche. That's why I think it's kind of cool they're making this. But then part of me was like, is this coming out because they are making like like a remake with, you know, famous people? Like I said, Peter Dinklage from
yeah,
Game of Thrones is like the star. But I feel like weirdly enough, this is either going to be popular or shelf warmer, aka like sits on Funko's website because
yeah,
people may not be aware of it. Like if I'm being honest, I'm surprised you're not aware of it, which makes me feel like way less people are. But once again, that makes it good for a con, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. That's true. Definitely an interesting one, or at least something different for sure. And it's cool, and it's a cool looking mold.
Yeah, I mean, it
Pretty
looks
nutty
just
looking.
like the
Yeah,
character. Yeah, yeah.
that's
So if you
awesome.
guys aren't aware of it, just look it up, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is an amazingly detailed mold."
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I guess I go for the next one. We
Yeah,
have so this is an Inuyasha pop. I do know that, which is obviously a pretty big famous. I don't know the name. I don't know if that's Inuyasha itself. I don't know much about it. However, it's a pretty cool looking one. I know there's not a ton of these pops, but they're pretty expensive because they're like a lot of them are pretty OG. So it's cool that we're seeing another just for that type in there. Seems like for the New York Comic Con, maybe San Diego sometimes, but a lot of times for New York Comic Con, they kind of go to those throwback classic animes and bring
yep.
them back. And that's kind of another one of those. Then we got Indiana Jones, which is a pretty sweet one. I don't know exactly. Is this from one of the old original movies, from the new
It's
one?
from original movies from Raiders of
Okay.
the Lost Ark. I love this pop, but like they made way too many Indiana Jones pops like way too soon, in
Yeah.
my opinion. It's just kind of like what like this probably should have just came out with the original line. It didn't need to be like a con exclusive, but it's still sick and I will have to add it to my collection. But
Mhm.
it's more just like, whoa, really?
Yeah. They definitely have. I mean, of late, obviously, they just went crazy with Indiana Jones stuff. Probably, for the movie and all that kind of stuff too, but they kind of brought it back to some of the old stuff. Then we have another McNugget one. So this one is pretty cool because, well, a couple of reasons. Like,
I think it's
obviously,
amazing.
yeah, obviously we have a bunch of McDonald's stuff, whatever, and usually with the nuggets specifically, we have a ton of versions of them, which was always kind of a thing, them dressed as something or whatever.
Yeah,
But this one's like perfect because it's very it's Halloween based, perfect around that time. It's obviously the Nuggets like a Frankenstein, which is great. But what's even cooler is that he has like the OG like candy
pails.
buckets,
Yeah.
pails, yeah, the orange, green, white, like different color ones, the different versions, which are so cool. I honestly think they should make just those pails into Funko Pops. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's cool that it's him and he's holding on to him as like a nugget. So it's definitely like different, but it's pretty cool.
I love this one. I first off, I do agree with you. They should make them into Funkos. They actually made Loungefly bags of them this year, which
Oh,
is
nice.
super cool. I don't. It's funny. I don't have a McDonald's Funko Pop in my collection, but I want to get this one.
Yeah.
Like you vividly like remember from like my childhood, like when Halloween time was around. Like this is what the Happy Meal came in, and they brought
Oh
them
yeah.
back. And I do like you said, it's perfect timing for Halloween.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have like the OG original wave when it first came out. And I was like, oh my god, we have McDonald's spots. And it was Ronald and all the main ones, and they're like in a box somewhere because I don't even know. But yeah, I never got any of the nuggets and stuff though, because then they started just getting too crazy, and I just stopped. I
Yeah,
was like, yeah,
there's
that's
so
enough.
many of them.
But yeah, I don't know. But how about these next ones? This one's pretty sick.
I mean, yeah, this next one is amazing. We kind of teased this one, I think, in the last episode. There was a leak, but
Yeah.
it's Freddy Funko. They're calling it Freddy Bones, and it's Freddy with a skeleton face And then legitimately on the side, he has a mask, which they actually made last year that you could have bought in,
Hmm.
which is super cool of what Freddy's normal face would look like. And it's like on the side, it's super detailed. I think this is one of the best Freddy Funkos for an event they've made in a very long time. That isn't
Yeah.
like obviously a genre one of an IP. Like this one is super cool.
Yeah, as an original mold, like, and it's just like it's so cool because it's literally a skull skeleton face, but it looks like Freddy. So it's like
Yes.
they pulled that off that mold so well. And then obviously you got the Freddy face, but like the face mask is just like the ones. It's a flat mask with a band that goes around your
It's
head. Like they're
amazing.
they're such ridiculous looking masks, like in real life, but it's like so cool that they perfectly placed this on him. And then even like his outfit and everything, like it's super cool. I think yeah, that thing is awesome. I mean, I guess we can kind of talk about the next one too, in the
Yeah,
sense of like they made a blacklight version of that too. So that one, I think, based off of the piece count, so it looks like is it going to be a con only one? It
I
kind of
think
seems
so.
like it should be because it's like 1,000 piece, right?
I'm assuming that'll be one you can only get at the booth at the con,
Yeah,
and the other one will be one that's online. That's the way it seems to be based off of things they've done in the past. And but quite frankly, I like the normal one better.
yeah,
Just for
yeah. I do too.
personal, like it just looks
Same
cooler.
thing. Yeah, the colors on it are great, and I feel like that happens a lot when there's like blacklight variants. I
Yeah.
usually like the regular one more. Like the blacklight one probably looks pretty sick. Like those colors look like they would pop really well under the light. But yeah, I agree. I like the regular
Because
one.
what they did last year, but when they had the actual event, like the Horror Nights event, where you the one you got at the booth at the actual con was the colored version. They did have a blacklight one that was given out at the event. But as of
Hmm.
right now, there is no event, and we've heard there isn't going to be an event. So, and we'll get into that more later. But it's just really interesting about how some of these things may play out. And then another ones that were announced, and I'll kind of run through these four, but they're the mascots for. So this event is heavy metal, and it's looking like there's gonna maybe be a box, but there's gonna be ones they announced say that are exclusive to the show. So we got one that looks like a pumpkin, and he's like a drummer, and then we have one that's like a lagoon monster type, and then we
Hmm.
have one that is, I guess, more of like a zombified type creature, which is also interesting about this one. This head is the mold for one of the NFT grails for the Dungeons and Dragons. Moment I saw this, I'm like, okay, they use the exact same mold for
Which one?
this. The one that I guess kind of looks like, I'm calling it a zombie, where he's got like the shovel and the hat.
With the hat on?
Yeah, with the hat on.
They made that into which NFT?
Dungeons and Dragons, the Grail character, it
Oh
looks
yeah?
just like this.
Wow. I don't think I recognized it.
It's interesting. I mean, not enough. Like it still looks super cool, but they definitely use that mold.
Yeah.
And then the other one is kind of like a metal head, and I think this one's pretty unique as well. All these molds, in my opinion, I know we talked about this offline, but like I think these are cool. They're original. I'm a fan of them. They definitely seem original, and they kind of are going like, I think the heavy metal theme is cool. Like they're trying to go, they didn't want to probably copy last year's, it was so Halloween, but like they're
Yeah.
kind of making this into Halloween, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of almost is like a Halloween-esque type of mascot. But yeah, I agree with the four of them. They're pretty cool. I don't love them. The molds are cool, like definitely unique and they're different. I'm just it's not like one that like I'm like, oh my God, I had like usually when there's like a mascot of four, there's
Yep.
always like one that I love and a second one that's like right there. But I mean it's cool that they have the glow in the dark versions. So obviously, like you said, those will probably be more of like at the show. And then if you're getting these at home boxes, which it seems like there's going to be boxes, but we really don't know too much yet. Obviously, we're still like a month away, so it's
Yeah.
still plenty of time to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, overall, the whole rock heavy metal thing is definitely a cool, like different type of like theme, I guess you can say. So I agree, though they're pretty cool. Um, let's see, we can go back up here to the top. So we do have That's Spengler, right? Ian
Yep.
Spengler? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's there's a like ghost version of him pop, which is pretty cool. I love, the white hair and the beard looks really awesome on the mold. I don't think it glows, right? I think it's just
I don't
the
think it
look.
does.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yep.
glow. It would be perfect if it glowed. But yeah, it's a cool one. Obviously Ghostbusters is huge, and being New York Comic Con, it makes it even better.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, and then we have Harley Quinn. Don't see the reason why we have this. For
No.
NYCC, they always do these like just awful DC mold characters and stuff. And I just hate it, but it's just another one, basically similar. It looks like this one is from the movie, maybe Prey. Or is that like our
It's
comic
got
one?
the WB 100
Is it a
box.
WB box? Oh my god, even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so her with the mallet and stuff, but I mean, we have so many Harley Quinn stuff, so don't really see why we needed that. And then we have from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yep.
the newest movie, and I forget his name
The High
or what his
Evolutionary.
High Evolutionary, yeah, which is cool. We've never had any mold of this guy, right?
No,
Yeah,
which
so this is
I
a
think is
cool one.
cool.
Yeah, very unique. Obviously, if you saw the movie, or you see the mold, like he has like a face basically that's like placed over his head because of something that happens. And it's pretty cool that they kind of pulled it off here on a Funko Pop. So it's definitely a cool one and definitely different. That is like, okay, that's cool. It's a big movie that had a lot of pops. Now you just have one kind of side thing that came out as a con one. So I think that one was pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. I love it. I mean, it's funny. They kind of did this with Ant-Man Quantumanium for the last con where they had Bill Murray's character. He had a Funko Pop just for the con, never common at all. I'm hoping we never get another high evolutionary Funko Pop. This is
Yeah,
it.
we don't need it.
But it's super cool. Now, this next one on the list, I will butcher because I don't actually know what this is. Do you?
I think it's another Inuyasha one
It is
because
okay.
yeah, I believe it was on a similar picture at another point with the other one. It's either that or Bleach. It's one of those like
It's definitely not
animes.
Bleach. It's definitely
Okay,
not Bleach.
yes, I think it's Inuyasha as well. I believe. I
I
don't know
mean,
the name or the character.
it looks cool. It's a character riding like a horse.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
It's like a unique mold. I mean, we all know these anime pops normally fly off the shelves, and I'm assuming this one is going to be popular. It looks super cool. Let us know in the comments what you think if you are an anime fan. This next one we talked about in the last episode, but
Hmm.
it's Darth Maul from Clone Wars. I mean, this one's sick. I don't care. They can keep making Darth Maul Funko Pops. I definitely want to add this one to my collection. I do think the Clone Wars just keeps getting more and more popular, especially with Ahsoka.
Hmm.
And I actually think this pop is going to be a popular one.
Yeah,
And then I'll round this out real quick with the New York Comic Con like mascot ones. We get these every year. It seems like it's just a different. And I actually think Tristan says this in the video if you watch it. It's just like every year is another color variant. They're
yeah,
like
it's the
really
same
big
exact pop. It's
ones.
just a different color. Yeah.
So we get the pigeon, we get the rat. I feel like they should change these, in my
Well,
opinion.
at least the molds. If you want to go with the whole pigeon and rat, that's fine. But like, it's literally the same exact mold. And these pops are like I remember getting them a couple years ago just because I kind of wanted to have one of them
Yeah,
of each. And like the pigeon one is such a heavy pop. It always falls forward. The beak always scratches up against the window, so you get like marks. And like, I don't know, like they could do something a little different. Like I get it, us living in the New York area, like we know why there's a pigeon and a rat, but
it's
like
funny you say
it's
that.
just
Like,
weird.
yes, we know why it's there, but I think it's like a little. I don't know. I feel like it's in bad taste. I don't know. It's weird. Like, there's so many other things you can make the mascot of. Like, it's not like these are the official mascots of the con. Funko just
Mhm.
like deemed them that way. Like, this is what they make. And like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of these. I've actually never bought in one, even when I go to the con. Sometimes I kind of sometimes I do say like I wish I did maybe have one, kind of like you just said, but I feel like they need to do something new. Um, I kind of love how the toucan for San Diego Comic-Con every
Hmm.
year they kind of has like a different look, like it's wearing
Yeah,
an
yeah,
outfit or something. They should do that. We don't need two, and they should do something like that. Maybe it should even be Freddy,
yeah,
which they've done in the past. Like we've gotten Freddy as a cop, Freddy as a Statue of Liberty. It doesn't look like we're getting a Freddy like that this year, though.
yeah. Not much. I mean, we'll get a couple Freddy's like we explained, but yeah, not that one specifically. All right. Then we have, oh, I forgot what this one was. The dead
This from
zombie.
Insidious too.
Insidious. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I forget his name though, but yeah, from Insidious, pretty sick, like crazy zombie leopard looking like type of character. Awesome mold. Anytime they do like dead zombie, ghost, skeleton, that kind of stuff, like the molds are always really cool. So it's definitely a good mold for this one. Then we have a DC pop, I believe this is, right?
Yeah.
I don't, is
And
that,
I'm not sure who this character
I
is
don't know who that is either.
off the
It's
top of my
another,
head.
like, it looks like Wonder Woman, but I don't think it is unless it's in that world, like in her, in Amazonia or something. It's got a crazy, like, headpiece. If you guys know, let us know. We'll pop it up, but there's that one. Who knows? I don't think anybody's buying
I don't
that.
think anyone wants it. So
Yeah, not at all. And then we have, is that Wanda? Next one?
no,
No. Who is
this is from
that?
X-Men 87.
Oh, it's
It's
X-Men. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Queen. I'm drawing a blank on that name as well, but this pop is just interesting to me because we're getting all these X-Men 87 pops.
Hmm.
The next Collector Core box is going to be that. They're kind of showing a ton of Funko exclusives. I'm not to get off topic, but we're getting the cooler, and it's like all these pops are coming out before the show comes out because it's been delayed.
Oh,
Which
has it?
yeah, which I find to be weird.
Mm.
They've been pretty good with that in the past of kind of I feel like besides the beginning of the pandemic when like no one knew what was going on, they released pops. Like I remember the Black Widow pops were out forever before that movie saw the
Yeah,
light of
yeah.
day, but they
Sure.
seem to have been trying to control that as of late, but
Yeah.
they're not with this, which is just
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Cool that you mentioned it because I forgot. We haven't been on for a little while. But the X-Men 97 soda cooler you were talking about,
Yeah.
like that's gonna be pretty sick. So yeah, I guess we're gonna get more characters of those. I mean, we saw some pops and stuff, so it's kind of obviously they're gonna have plenty of characters to come out with for that. But yeah, that's one of them. No idea what she's doing, anyways. And then we had a weird one here, Care Bears character. So I
Yeah.
saw it, like the box was Care Bears, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it literally looks like the ghost from Scooby Doo, like
Yeah, I agree.
the one, like it looks like
It
almost like
looks
the
like it's
same
the
mold and
same thing.
everything.
Yeah.
Um, but if you guys know what that is or whatever, I mean, if it's Care Bears, this just doesn't seem like it would be from Care Bears. I don't know much about it, I guess. But yeah, that's an odd one. And then the last one in this little row here would be Garfield. So we have a Garfield one here. This looks like it's kind of like Halloween themed,
Yeah,
like
which is cool
like a
with
witch
the
hat
cauldron.
and a cauldron. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That like we used to feel, I felt like a lot of times a lot of these things were themed, but lately like they haven't always necessarily been themed, and specifically this year, like they're all kind of all over the place.
All over the place.
But this one kind of goes back to that, like around Halloween time, because of course it's always during October, which of course is during Halloween. So we got that Garfield one. Think that's all right. But it's cool like that they did it with that outfit and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I do like that one. Then we're getting the 25th anniversary like pops that keep coming out. It seems like
hmm.
they kind of slowed down a little bit though, but we're getting one for every con, even though I do think this is one that will probably be a little more popular, but I'm sure they'll still sit. But we're getting Captain America. Um, so I mean, I feel like if you're collecting these, you're collecting these. If you're not, you're not. But then, like, you may be like, oh, I want the Marvel ones because they really have been all over the place. We've got in DC, we've got in Disney, we've got in Marvel. So I feel like we're going to get these for the rest of the year, though.
Yeah, there's so many. I wasn't the diecast Captain America, the original first diecast, a con
Yeah, it
exclusive, right?
was. It was.
So it's interesting that we're getting another con of those like disc versions or whatever. Did you see the sticker on it too, though? That's pretty interesting because it's the first one
Oh,
of
you're
this
right.
vaulted one that has like this. big, sticker on it.
And it's like a con one.
Obviously for the con and stuff. So pretty interesting, cool. Obviously, this always goes back to the whole year one thing, and they do like a real OG mold. So it's a cool one. I mean, but there's a lot of them now. And I thought this would be a line like the diecast that I would want to just continue to collect, but I think I got two or maybe three, and I'm just like, it's too many now. And I'm kind of like not haven't gotten one in a while.
Yeah, I haven't gotten one in a while either, but I do feel like I will get this one. These next ones, like, I'm sorry, I'm just like not a fan of this WB making, like, they're treating, and this is probably going to be a hot take, everyone, but Bugs Bunny is like, and the Looney Tunes don't have the same weight anymore as, like, let's say Mickey does, for example. And I don't feel the need that we need to take a mashup for like all of WB's properties and put them on the Looney Tunes, especially four. So we're getting Harry Potter ones. We're getting one of each house. So Bugs is Gryffindor, Sylvester Slytherin, Lola is Ravenclaw, and Porky is Hufflepuff.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and like I have absolutely no interest in these. Then we got the
Thought you
whole.
would.
I don't. I I don't know. I just don't.
I get your thing with like it's kind of like they've kind of overdone the Looney Tunes, and that's why we're kind of like, oh, this is a little. I feel like if there wasn't Looney Tune pops that came out in a long time, and then they dropped these, they'd probably be a little bit more desirable, and like
No, you may be
especially
right.
being like a Harry Potter fan, you'd be like, all right, these are kind of cool, like, and like I feel like they fit into the houses kind of well in a weird way, so it's
Yeah,
kind of funny they did that, but it is a little weird, random, and the whole WB damn box and that whole like that line just makes no sense. It's literally just whatever they want to put that just happened to be
yeah,
a property, which is a little odd. But we've talked about that before. But yeah, overall, I mean, and they're not like anything special. They're literally them with the robes and holding
yeah,
onto wands. Um, but I kind of get what you're saying. Like it's a little overplayed and maybe not necessary. And then for a con for all four of them to kind of come out is a little weird too. So
yeah. So now we got some anime pops, which I know we're looking at the same image. Do you know? I know the second one is from Bleach.
yeah, the second one's Bleach. I mean, I guess we could say that one first. So there's
Yeah,
obviously a Bleach character, which that's one of those OG animes that I was talking about, and that's a pretty cool character. It looks like I feel like they made one very similar to this, if I'm not mistaken, because that looks very similar.
I think so too. But that line is
Uh,
still pretty. I don't think that line's very big in
no,
general,
no, I don't think
which
so at
is.
all. Yeah, which is
I'm
good.
actually. It's funny. Like I've heard this anime is like amazing, especially from like a YouTube creator that I really like, and I've always wanted to try to get into it, and I just can't. But have you ever seen this
Yes.
before?
No, I never have it. I know about them though. Like my sister-in-law actually, my brother's fiance is diehard anime fan. She even draws anime. She's like really, really talented. She's a huge fan of Inuyasha, the first one we talked about before,
Okay.
and Bleach, like both of them, and likes other ones too. But like I know for a fact like she really likes those. And yeah, it wasn't one I ever really got into. I got into obviously the very super popular Dragon Ball Z's and that kind of world. And then like recently I've kind of been getting into some other things like One Piece. We haven't talked about that, but getting into some of those things now. But some of these are supposed to be like amazing. And like it's just that they have so many episodes and it's like it's a
It's yeah.
commitment to really get into these. But that first one, I don't I don't know what it is. I remember looking at
It's
this
just funny.
before we
Funko
recorded.
normally gives us like what these are, and I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Someone
there've been
posted it. There's a couple other pages that have posted these broken down into what they are, but like it was like something very I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys know, we'll pop that up as well. But then that last one is Demon Slayer, which we don't know the
that I knew.
characters or the
Yeah,
names, but obviously we know it's from Demon Slayer. You're just looking at it, you can tell,
they all look the
pretty
same,
much. But that's a 2-pack though, which
which is
is
cool.
pretty cool that we're getting one of those because we haven't gotten a lot of multi-packs in like quite a while. So that one I feel like is gonna be very popular. I mean, obviously Demon Slayer has been very popular in
Agreed.
the Funko community, but yeah, it seems like it's going to be something that's going to be
Also, I just found out that
popular.
Funko Pop is from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Ah, that's what it is. Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, and then you look at it, it kind of doesn't make sense. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
like
It's
a
interesting.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I feel like they've been making more and more Yu-Gi-Oh pops recently, so they must be doing really well.
Yeah, interesting one. Um, and then we got some sodas.
Yeah.
So obviously, ran through some of the pops. Overall, I'm not gonna say not impressed with this lineup. Like overall, like there's nothing that's like wow. Now I'm pretty sure this is everything because obviously this is all stuff that Tristan got. He supposedly got everything. Who knows if there's another couple random things that we don't know about.
Yeah.
There is, however, one pop before we get into the sodas that is also coming out and has been shown, but he didn't have it, which was interesting that it didn't show, especially for this one. And it's going to be another one of the what's the
The
actual
wanted
line?
posters.
It's a wanted poster. Is that the line, a wanted poster though,
I
or is
think
it
it's
like
just
a
I think it's
movie
just part of the
poster?
animation line. They
Oh, it's
don't
just
get
like okay, cool.
yeah.
So we've seen some of these before, and obviously this is from One Piece, and it's Monkey D. Luffy, which is gonna be pretty sick because honestly, it's so funny. Like me and Charlie, like, if you know us, we're not anime fans, so like we like stuff here and there, but this obviously is a very popular. It's been around for a really long time, and it has bajillion episodes. I was hearing stories of actually the creator and the guy who's like a madman, and I guess he just writes nonstop and just comes out with another episode and comes out with another, and then the manga is like insane, and he just never wants to stop. And that's like
Which
why there's so much.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like constantly more. So like when the original anime obviously came out, there's like so many episodes and so many seasons. But Netflix obviously was coming out with a live action, and we spoke about it a little bit. And both of us are like, enough like we have enough interest in like checking that out and to
Yeah.
get into that world. And honestly, I think both of us got really hooked. I know Charlie hasn't fully finished it. I did finish it. I thought it was amazing. And I know it's kind of a mixed community. Some people say the diehards are like not into it, but it got really good reviews,
Yeah.
even from like what it's been. So yeah, anyways, this looks like pretty cool. I don't have any of these pops. Obviously, they're very popular when they come out on the cons, especially all the ones that are on like the boats and stuff. Those were always the first things to sell out, the most expensive damn pops. And I feel like this one's gonna be because we've had a couple wanted ones, but him being the wanted one, which obviously if you
It's
know this, on the show you see it too. But yeah, it looks pretty sick.
I mean, it looks super sick. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I want this now. Like, I knew this was going to happen. It fits right into my personality of when that Netflix show came out that I would like it, and I do. I probably don't. I'm being honest. I don't have the time to watch the anime.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
so
I'll
much. I
try
mean,
to
it's short
watch a little bit.
episodes. There's
Yeah,
just a lot of
but
episodes.
it's just like I feel like that'd be the only show I'd watch for the rest of my life. That's where I like I love that Netflix. I mean, I even like I think that cast is amazing. The way
Yeah.
that show looks is amazing. It was super fresh, and I recommend anyone who listens to us who doesn't isn't an anime fan, if you haven't already checked it out, like you probably should, because then you're probably gonna want the Funko Pops. Because it's
Yeah,
just so funny.
I'm trying
Whenever
to
I
stay away
saw
from all
these
those.
wanted posters, I always be like, oh, okay. But now after I watch the show, I'm like, those are sick.
It
It's
is
just funny.
very true. But we'll get through the sodas now, the rest of what's been announced. So we have some Lost Boys
Yeah,
sodas. I never really was into this movie or
neither.
anything. I never watched it. I forgot the names. There's two characters that are there. Even looking at them, like the chases look super
They're
weak. Like
weak.
they're not like anything like that's
I mean, I've
wowing
seen the
me.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just never really had interest. And I know it's kind of has like a cult following, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
but yeah, not
I
something
don't
that
think we
I'm
should have
really
gotten
excited for.
two. Not to be
Yeah,
critical,
it's
but like it
yeah, in
just
the same
weird.
con, that's what's a bit odd. Yeah. And like I said, the chases aren't even like great, so it's kind of
No.
like a definitely one that we didn't really need. Then we had a Stitch. Stitch one was pretty cool. This is kind of more Halloween based as well. So he's kind of dressed up as like a skeleton, which is really cool. It's cute. This is the second Stitch soda now, I believe, that we
Yep.
have, right?
No,
Um,
third. There's a
third.
Christmas one. This will be the Halloween one, and there's a normal one.
Oh, there is a normal one. I
Yeah,
forgot
that
about that. I knew
that
about the
came out
Christmas
not
one.
that long ago.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay. So this is not the third one. So interesting. We didn't have any Stitches on now, so we're getting a bunch of them. So Stitch soda is pretty cool. And then we're getting the Lord Zed soda,
Yes. This is sick.
which we spoke about this one. This one's pretty common chase. I think one of them is like metallic too, I believe the chase.
Yeah, the chases.
Um, but that's a cool one because that opens up the whole Power Rangers thing where we're gonna get more of those. And I believe that was potentially rumored as a cooler, right?
Yeah, it
The Power
was.
Rangers. So
Yep.
let's see. But it's cool that the first one we get is a con one. Great, and it's a cool way to kind of get us into Power Rangers sodas, hopefully. So
Yeah. And then keep that sodas going. We're getting, which I love this one, Santa Claus from Nightmare Before
yeah,
Christmas. And the common chase combo is cool. One, with this hat on with his list, and the other with like the candy stuck in his beard. I think this one's amazing. I kind of wish though this maybe could have been the 3 liter for the con. Because I'll get into that after I say this next soda. It's another My Hero Academia soda. I don't know the character's name off the
yeah,
top of my head, but I feel like, I feel like the My Hero stuff is kind of tamed down a little bit. People don't really go nuts over it anymore.
yeah.
I feel like One Piece kind of replaced that, which is interesting because One Piece is so much older, but I guess they kind of weren't really making product. And then I guess Demon Slayer also kind of
Hmm.
took over the popularity. So who knows if this one will be like, oh, I gotta get it. But then this next soda, the 3 liter, I'm just disappointed in this one because they've now really done what I know they've already kind of broken it, but we've always said larger than life characters, and not that Willy Wonka isn't. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. But like Willy Wonka didn't need a 3 liter. He just didn't. It's I think it's exactly the same
Yeah, that's what I was just
mold
looking at
as
because I
yeah,
have mine up top. It's literally like, yeah, and then the chase with the candy bar, like it's definitely a waste of like why make a bigger version of it? You already have the other one. You don't need it. If we did I don't think Willy Wonka should be in a big size one at all, like you said. But if we never even gotten the soda and this was the only one we got, I'd be like, all right, whatever, that's cool. We got a Willy Wonka
yep,
soda because we don't
agreed.
have one. But like the fact that we already have the normal size one, like why make a 3 liter of it? It's literally I don't think it makes any sense. Like it's cool because you got a little bit more detail and stuff when you get the bigger molds, but I would have not made it and been totally cool with that.
Cool. I'm happy we're on the same page with that one.
Yeah,
And
and I
then
love Willy Wonka, and
yeah,
I
me
love that
too.
they had the soda. Like, I think it's a great soda. I just don't see the point of
I
having
guess maybe now
the
this one will
duplicate
look
of it.
cool with the Oompa Loompa, but I
Yeah,
don't
because then
I,
it'll be smaller. Yeah, I guess.
but like you said, yeah, I mean, we could talk about this all day. And then the last soda they revealed, which I think this is super sick. We're continuing with Freddy, dressed up for Halloween. This time he has a mask on. It looks like a very old school, like vampire-esque mask, and it's very colorful. He's holding like a jack-o'-lantern type pail.
Hmm.
It's just very, very Halloweenish, which is just awesome. And then though the chase is exactly the same, but it's black light, which is exactly what they just did for San Diego Comic Con with
Hmm.
the Freddy with like the float. Um, I think this one's awesome though.
Yeah,
I love all the Halloween stuff they did.
it's sick. Yeah, no, and I feel like they should have just stuck to that.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's definitely like a great mold, and it's a great soda, Freddy soda, because some Freddy sodas, like we saw the ones that were like those paint jobs were basically just painted over them that came in that box. And like this is like an actual mold out of cape. He's holding on to something, and then he has the mask thing, which is cool because they did this with the pop, and now they have a soda version, which it's obviously different, but it's the same concept of like he's in a costume and he has the mask over his head, which I think is like great. I think it would have been kind of well, it would have took away from the Freddy, but it would have been kind of cool if the chase was like with the mask down or something.
I agree.
Um, but then it wouldn't have really been like Freddy minus the crown. Obviously, you would have known it was him. But I think it's a cool thing. The outfit's cool as well. So it's definitely a great soda. That's definitely one I would really, really want. Like I know we'll talk. I guess we can talk about ones that we like 100% want after we finish
Yeah.
these. But yeah, that's one that's like really sick. But then there's two more like products, and one is a rewind.
Your favorite.
Yeah, ooh, love them. So literally, I think they're so terrible now I keep seeing them. But don't we have a Scooby one? But it's not obviously Scooby, but we have one for Scooby, right? The movie. Don't we have a with
Yeah, they
with
first
Shaggy?
there was a Shaggy, I think, and a Velma. They
Okay.
both came out for San Diego Comic Con.
So now we got like a Scooby, but the Chase is what's pretty cool. It's a completely different character, like
I like
completely different
this.
character.
Yep.
So that one's actually pretty awesome that they did that. Like that's a cool kind of
Part of me is like,
concept.
are they testing out what to do? Like, it's interesting.
And one thing that's like weird when you see these pictures and you see it quick, they don't look like rewinds. They look like sodas. Like the mold kind of looks more like a soda than what some of these rewind characters, which are very, very less detailed. Like that's Scooby specifically. That's kind of like I guess it's kind of hard. It's a dog, so you
You're
know
right.
who
It
knows.
doesn't look much different.
But it doesn't really look like yeah. It looks more like a soda. And then we're getting another little box wave here of biddies, and these are going to be some Freddy ones. These molds we've already had. They're like the Halloween based molds that we got in that like Fright Night box, like as the sodas. So we got like him as like a pumpkin head,
That's actually
spirit,
NFT pop.
the pumpkin one.
Yeah.
But we've seen I knew we've seen these. There's a
Yeah. It's
werewolf,
just
like it's
interesting.
kind of like
All
a
of them.
mix.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. And obviously there's just the biddy ones, which I don't know if I really need any of these, but it's interesting
These
that
may be
now all the
this.
cons we're getting like a little version of these.
It's funny though. These may be con only booth because I think this is limited to 1,000 pieces.
Okay.
So, which they did do that with the last con with one of them.
Yep.
I think the Blacklight Batman ones.
Yep.
But I mean,
Um.
kind of like you were saying earlier, like overall, like there's a lot of stuff here that I want, but like it's kind of underwhelming.
Mhm.
And there's even pops that were rumored to be coming out that we're clearly not getting, and it just kind of like was because you remember that year we had a huge mess of where stuff was delayed,
Oh
it was
yeah, yeah,
announced, it
yeah,
didn't come, then they gave them out at the next con, they slapped a second sticker on it. It's just like a mess. I don't know if that's what's happening this year or what, because this is even kind of small for New York Comic Con. I know it's a
yeah.
lot, but it's small.
No, it's definitely small because it's and it's not. It's like very limited to like the lines. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a very odd one. But like you said, yeah, we do have a couple that were like rumored that potentially were supposed to come out. We had a couple sodas and pops that were on there. I mean, I guess I could kind of just run through
Yeah,
that. I
run
mean,
through them.
we're supposed to get like a day, and it says that they're still coming, so maybe they're just delayed, like you said. We have a Casper soda that we're supposed to get. Mork and Mindy, one soda from there. We're gonna get is that Darkwing Duck?
Darkwing Duck, yep.
Darkwing Duck. And then the Hanna-Barbera character. I'm totally gonna miss his name. But there's a Hanna-Barbera character, and then it looks like maybe another like anime one.
Yeah.
And even some of the pops, like we're supposed to get potentially an Urkel, Run DMC, Kendall Roy, which I really wanted that. That's from Succession, which I love that show. So I was really excited for that. And then I think that's
The 14th
Doctor
Doctor.
14th Doctor.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, so a
interesting. We
few.
normally do get those at the con. That's why I'm like, is this maybe going to be coming and they just haven't announced it yet? Or like we said, they're delayed because it'll kind of align right when the special's coming out. So it is
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah. And
And then there's a
then
Steve
I don't know the
Urkel.
other one. Yeah.
Um, there's James Harden. Like I said, this image shows him on the Knicks, which makes no sense. I don't know who
Yeah.
pulled this. They clearly don't like sports. And then we have, I think, a Fortnite character, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what these other ones are. And they're not even images of pops, they're just kind of like images of like what they were gonna be. I think is one
Mhm.
from Interview of a Vampire.
Mhm.
And then do you know what that other one is?
Mhm.
Okay. No idea. So probably no one wants it.
Yeah. Well, uh, but yeah, that's pretty much like the line that what's going to be coming out at least for now. The original Funko page has announced most of these, not all of them, but obviously they sent out the stuff to Tristan and Top Pops, and we saw more stuff there than Funko officially announced. So it's a little bit odd when it comes to that. But I know we mentioned that there potentially is going to be a box, and we've seen multiple different pictures of like what could be in these. We've obviously seen some sodas, so there are a lot of sodas that have like limited the heavy metal limited edition, and they're not part of like what's supposed to come out for New York Comic Con necessarily,
Yeah.
even though some have been mixed in. So like that Freddy Funko soda obviously has been pictured with some of these. but the rest of them look more like the Freddy Funkos that we've been getting lately in boxes, where it's like
Yeah.
Freddy Funko painted a certain way, or Freddy Funko as a ghost. A lot of these are like Freddy Funko as a spirit ghost, but like a black light one, a white like glitter one, and like a couple different color options. They all seem like they're about 2,000 piece. Some are 3,000. There's a werewolf, and then there's an interesting one, a vampire proto,
Yeah, that one's
4,000
cool.
piece. Yeah, that one's interesting because it's definitely unique and different. So it's kind of cool to see that. But obviously, there's usually a lot of times where we see a couple other ones that we don't get leaked right away. Which I know one of them was a Freddy as Chucky, which is obviously a licensed character. It's not like one of these just like fake Freddy dressed as something kind of things. So that makes it kind of interesting because like is that going to be one of them? Are there going to be other characters that are like licensed actual like Halloween, let's say, characters or whatever? But yeah, it's we don't have much like on what these are going to be. I think even Gassocast like they showed like a leak photo which had the potential to have some of those Freddies that we've seen that are going to be part of the
Yeah.
con mixed in with some of the sodas, and then like the mascot. And I know this is where we were talking about how like it's a 6,000 piece mascot is probably like the at home version, and then those smaller 1,000 piece or whatever, those would be like at the actual show, but there's not really a show, so we don't know what this really means.
No,
It's
because
kind of all
you
over the
made me
place.
just realize too. I remember there was a leaked image of Casey Jones from TMNT as Freddy, and it's in a heavy metal box.
Oh,
Um, which I
yeah, there's
totally
got to be
forgot.
some that are
Like,
missing, unless they're like show ones and they're really going to be under wraps until the show.
yeah, or maybe they'll be selling boxes at the con, like at the
Yeah,
booth, like, and
or
there's
we
just
get a
an
last
event,
minute event. Who knows?
which would be,
Who freaking knows?
yeah, just, I just feel like doing that at this point is like, I mean, if you're going to the con, you're going to the con, but like, I know we were waiting out, like, okay, we're not getting our tickets yet until we know the day the Funko event is. Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, if you don't get your tickets now, you're not even going to Comic Con because they're all sold out.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of like, are they really gonna do that? Last minute event. It's just I'm so perplexed about what is going on with them with this.
It's really weird. It's definitely a bit odd. And even like these reveals and stuff coming out now, I feel like it's kind of a little early. Like it's a month
Yeah, it
away. Sometimes
is.
they wait for this even to come out. So it is all the timing has just been weird, whether it's early or late. Like we're kind of like thrown into like a weird situation here. But yeah, interesting to see. I mean, that's definitely exciting to see what these, hopefully we're gonna get some boxes, but also just the pops and stuff. Like you said, we're both not super excited. Some of the sodas I really like. The Freddy one for sure is going to be something I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to go after. The Freddy Pop for sure as well. Um, and then maybe the Darth Maul, and then the Lord Zed soda. But that's like it. Where I'm like, yeah, I gotta have that. Like there's like a couple maybes, like the Nuggets are a maybe the Captain America, but even those I might just be like, nah, I'll just pass on them. But that's about it.
Yeah, I
Like I'm
feel
not
like
like
yeah,
super into these.
I feel like we have basically the exact same
Maybe
list.
The Luffy one
I
probably.
want and like one that I want is like the Mutant Mayhem one, but I'm
Hmm.
agreeing with you. It's like the Freddy's, the Darth Maul. I mean, I do think that McDonald's one's kind of cool.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, overall, it's just like even the sodas, like I love them, but it's like to the Stitch and like the Nightmare Before
Yeah,
Christmas, like it needs to be con one. Like I don't know, the Lord Zed is the standout for me with the
yeah.
Freddy.
And it does seem like even just in comments and kind of looking through, like it's pretty much that like a lot of people are in the same boat as us, where it's like they maybe have one or two where they're like, oh my God, I need this or that's sick. Or most of them are just like, yeah, I'm passing on most of this, which doesn't ever happen for New York Comic
Ever.
Con. Like
New
you'll
York
see
Comic
that
Con
in
is normally
WonderCon and
fire.
like those other ones, but yeah, like New York Comic Con, that's a bit odd. Uh, but yeah, that's all for New York Comic Con, at least for
Yeah.
the hype and everything on that. Hopefully, we get more stuff released for this, and we can see. Like we said, we'll be there. Obviously, we still have plenty of time. It's probably going to be some more news that we'll talk about leading up to New York Comic Con. But it's definitely still pretty exciting. I'm just looking at some of these other pictures, these other things. Um, I did know we wanted to talk about this just real quick, just because obviously today it'll be the drop. We always talk about NFTs, Jurassic Park. So that line obviously is dropping today. If you guys are listening to this on Tuesday, 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. This is a pretty sick line. I
Agreed.
know we've talked about it in the past. Well, we were rumored that it was going to come out, but now that we actually got the look of it and all the redeemables, I think the legendaries are amazing. I think that Grail is so cool,
The Grail's
very
amazing.
unique, and then that Freddie royalty is higher. So definitely a cool set for sure. Looks like it's gonna be 45,000 standard packs, 15,000 premium packs. So pretty good, decent
So
size.
they've never done this before. That's a huge difference. They normally are aligned.
Like
I
the
don't know if you
same amount
realize
in
that.
each
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which is interesting, because then that kind of means that it's almost like the same amount. I feel like usually they would do more premium packs just to kind of,
Yeah.
which means overall there's obviously more packs. So maybe this isn't as many as we think. Although the standard being 45,000 seems kind of on the higher end though, no?
It
Because
is a
yeah,
lot.
because that's definitely a lot. But yeah, these are pretty cool, and I definitely am excited to try to grab some packs. We'll see how it goes. If we get anything, obviously you'll see it on here. If we're able to grab anything, and hopefully we get some redeemables, because that's what it's all about.
It is. And hopefully this drop, it'll be interesting. I think this drop will do well and sell out, but they've
Yeah,
obviously they've been having problems for the past few drops,
yeah,
which
very,
is
very much so.
it's crazy. I mean, it's like I felt like the NFTs were the one thing that was solid for Funko, and now it's like, I mean, obviously they're still making crazy money off of it, but it's
Yeah,
more of the perception of it not selling out that makes it like not look good.
agree. But anything else? I think
No, I think
that was it.
that's it.
All right. So, like always, Charlie will let you guys know where to follow us and everything. But I do want to say, thank you to all the supporters. And please make sure you guys are definitely, showing support down below. Comment if you're here on YouTube, because we definitely love seeing comments, and let us know some of your favorite New York Comic Con stuff. What are you excited for? Or are you going to be going to New York Comic Con? And if you
Yeah.
are, we'll be there. Hopefully, we'll see you. Feel free to come up to us. It'll be awesome. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. That'll be coming up soon. It's less than a month, so it's coming up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I definitely want to reiterate what Mix just said. Like, if you're coming to New York Comic Con, let us know in the comments, and we would love to meet up with our fans and like just obviously talk Funko. So we're really, really excited for that. Especially like I know Mix has said in the past he's never been to New York Comic Con, so we're really gonna make the most of it. And like you said, keep commenting. If you haven't already, please like this video, because that weirdly enough, I don't want to always repeat myself, but like that really does help push our video out to everyone. And
Mhm.
if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe to this channel. We're like we said, we passed that 500. We're still growing a little bit. Hopefully, this video will continue to help us reach our next milestone. And like we said, follow us over at socials at Collector Chatter, and then at both of our personal accounts at pop_Migs and at Collector_Charlie. And once again, let us know what you are excited for this New York Comic Con. And until the next episode, later, everyone. And don't forget, collecting is the way.
Bye, everybody.